the final tonight. And the best team in baseball wins it all in 2018.
For the first hit. Rutschman into right field. Down the line. A fair ball. Adley will turn first. Head for second. He's going to turn second. Go for third. Rutschman into third base standing. An extra base hit. His first hit in the major leagues. Welcome to the...
These are long pitch innings. I think Blister, that's what you were to make sure.
Here's a high fly ball into right. Back his bat's on the move. On the track. He's got it. What a catch by Mookie Betts.
Now, Clifford looking for a clean inning here in the seventh. Hit well out to right center field. Jones still on the move, running out of room, and he made it!
And first episode of 2022, I think we should give that a clap before we go any further. 3 years full that have had at least one episode, because we have episodes in 2020, we've had episodes in 2021, we have an episode in 2022 right here. And today it's finally coming true. We're going to finish our jersey number rankings for the best player at each jersey number. It's happening today. They're finally going to be over. How excited are you for these to end? Because I feel like we've had these hanging around way too long.
Yeah, I'm getting a little sick of them because most of these numbers, these past few numbers, and players not very good. It was kind of fun to start, but we're gonna finish the series. Like we said at the beginning, we're gonna finish the series. That's what we do.
Yep. And then next we'll be talking about every team. So we'll be spinning around a wheel, and whatever team it lands on, we'll be talking about that team for the entire episode. And we'll talk about a starting nine, or like some pitchers, prospects. So we'll be talking all about them in the episode. So if you want to see that, stay tuned, because that will come next week. And we're also having a football podcast coming out, Beyond the End Zone. That there should be some content on there for tomorrow. We're recording this on Sunday, and we'll tape another episode tomorrow, Monday. So if you're listening to this podcast and you're a football fan, you can go check out Beyond the End Zone tomorrow if you're listening to this on Sunday. And that should be great, because we kind of need to find something to do while the baseball is still in lockdown. But we'll still keep up Beyond the Ballpark. We'll just have 2 podcasts going. Maybe the Beyond the End Zone will be a little bit more inconsistent, but we'll do our best. And I think without further ado, we've had a very long intro. Let's get into these numbers. So kick us off, we have Ryan Thompson wearing number 81. Yeah, no, these are just the wonky numbers at this point. So 81, Ryan Thompson, good pitcher. He's a very good pitcher, and he's one of a handful of options, and was the best option, probably was the most consistent throughout the entirety, or in the class of 81s. So Ryan Thompson was just the best option. That's probably what you're going to hear a lot of in this episode.
Yeah, this guy definitely was our best option, but he's actually not bad. This season he had 2.38 ERA and played in 36 games, so he's a reliever. So I think that isn't bad for guys that we're going to see. Probably one of the better players we're going to see in this list, because most of these guys are not very good. But this guy, I think he's a good player. He's young. It's only second season, so I feel like he can play much better, because he had a great year in 2021.
Next up, we got Bailey Ober of the Twins, I believe. Again, just kind of in a narrow class, and didn't really provide much for us. But he's there, and he's made his case. Brendan, why don't you rattle off the stats for us? for Bailey Ober?
Yep, sure. Bailey Ober, he had a 4.19 ERA, played in 20 games, had a WHIP of 1.202. That isn't terrible stats, but only played in 20 games, so not a huge sample size. We're just kind of basing off of who played the most games, who has the most numbers on that, and if those numbers are good. And for this, we had two options. So he went with the better option, which was this guy. So, yeah, Bailey Ober.
Number 83, Griffin Jax. Probably the worst guy on this list, to be honest. He came from a very narrow class of, 83s. But he just had the most playing time. That's literally the only reason that we chose this kind of numbnut. None of the other guys had consistent time. So I think it's just he had the most playing time in 2021. But, his stats are terrible, which Brendan is about to read for us.
Yeah, he has a 6.37 ERA. He played in 18 games in the 2021 season. He won 4 of them, lost 5 of them. And he had a WHIP of 1.354. So those are, not great numbers. But most of these guys, like you said, only on this for 83, really only played about 1-2 games. But this guy is really much playing the most games. So we're not going to pick guys who played like 2 games because not much playing time at all. So yeah, Griffin Jax, best option there.
84. This was actually a split. So we'll read off our stats for our players. So we did stand by a player of our choice. I chose Dylan Cease, and I'll kick it off. Dylan Cease went 13-7 in 2021, 3.91 ERA. He started all the games he appeared in, which was 32. And he had 165 and 2/3 innings logged, 226 strikeouts, and a 1.2425 if you round WHIP. So I think Dylan Cease was really, really good, but Brandon, he stood by his choice, which he will read to you right now, or before he gets into that. I think just Dylan Cease was really good for the Chicago White Sox, and really, a really good pitcher for them to have on their staff.
JT Chargois.
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 Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. He had a 2.52 ERA. He played in 56 games. He won 6 of them, lost 1 of them. He started none of those games. And strikeouts, he had 53 strikeouts and had a WHIP of 1.018. I picked him because I think he had a better stats, 2.52 ERA. I think it's better than Dylan Cease's 3.91. Even though if Dylan Cease he's in a better bullpen, all those White Sox pitchers, they're all pretty good.
I think Dylan Cease is a starter, by the way.
He is?
Yeah, because he started all of his games that he appeared in. So.
Oh. Well, for a starter, that changes things up. I think he's got decent stats for a starter, but now that I think about it, that's pretty good stats for a starter. I'm gonna go with the starter. I'm gonna go Dylan Cease.
You're changing it in the episode.
That is correct.
Wow. Just because he's a starter.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, then. So I guess we're going with Dylan Cease in the middle of the episode. Very interesting move. But I think, with all due respect, JT Chargois was very good for the Rays in Mariners. He was traded to the Rays midseason anyway. We're done with that. Let's get into 86. Peyton Henry. Forget what position he plays.
You skipped 85.
Oh, it did? Oh,
yeah.
Shoot. Man, we're going loopy here, folks. 85. Luis Cessa, pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds, split his time between New York and Cincinnati. And Brendan, hit us with the stats.
He had this season 2.51 ERA, a win-loss ratio, 5 wins, 2 losses. He played in 53 games, had 54 strikeouts, and had a WHIP of 1.144. I think those are decent stats. Really good stats.
Yeah. Good stats for, the Reds, which don't have a great bullpen, and just a good pitcher. 86, which was the one I was getting to. Peyton Henry of the Marlins? Yeah, he's of the Marlins. 24 years old. I'll do the stats from this time. Give Brendan a break with the stats. He had 15 at-bats. He had 4 hits, no homers, and he had a 267 average. So super small sample size, and the slash line, 313 on base, 333 slugging, 646 OPS. 86 was just kind of a weak number, and Peyton Henry just kind of is what it is, and just kind of the player that we went with here.
Yeah, it really came down to who had the most playing time. So he just happened to have the most at bats or appearances, and the other guys just really didn't have they had 2 at bats or played in 2 games. So we went with the guy who played in the most games, most appearances, which is Peyton Henry. Because none of these guys had much big sample size.
Yeah. 87, a one that hits home for me, a guy that the Orioles claimed off waivers. Joey Crable, beast with the beard. He looks like a leprechaun a little bit. But Joey Crable, honestly, not terrible in his small sample size for the Orioles. And Brendan, let's go over the stats.
Yep, he had a 4.32 ERA in 6 games this season, 1 with the Rays, 5 with the Orioles. He struck out 7 batters, and he had a WHIP of 1.2.
Again, small sample, but it is what it is, and Joey Crable's a good pitcher, and, his sample. It's hard to get higher into the numbers because, very few players have had consistent playing time at that number, so.
Yeah, most of these guys not playing in many games or just had terrible stats, so we went with our own Oriole for once, Joey Crable.
Yep. 88, we got an actual good player who's actually got talent, and could be a generational type player for the Chicago White Sox who have been on this list. It is Luis Robert. This guy, really, really good. He was hurt for most of the last season, so obviously it impacts. But he had 275 at-bats, 93 hits, 13 homers, 338 batting average, 42 runs, 43 RBIs, 6 stolen bases, 378 on base, 567 slugging, and a 946 OPS. Even though it's very small, it's a small sample by baseball standards. Very, very good stuff from Luis Robert, and could be a generational talent. And he's only 24 years old, so sky's the limit for the kid.
Yeah, like you said, the thing you gotta look at, he's only 24. He's this young. He was injured this season, but still, those are good stats. I feel like to really get how good he is, you got to combine the 2 seasons he had to get 124 games, which he had 24 at bats and was batting 294, that's just great stats right there for a rookie. So this guy, he's a really good player, and I feel like you said, he can be generational talent for the White Sox, and really hope for this White Sox team.
89. This one hits home for Brendo. It's Tanner Houck, Boston Red Sox, and Brandon, I'll let you take this one away because he is your pitcher.
Yeah, I love Tanner Houck. He was really good in the postseason. Kind of helped us out when some of our starters could, not hold for us. His stats were in the 2021. He had an ERA of 3.52 in 18 games and won 1 of those games, lost 5 of those. He played in 69 innings, and he struck out 87 and had a whip of 1.130. He was just really good, and I heard in 2020 he was a reliever, and now in 2022 he's going to start as a starter, which I think will be really helpful for our starting pitchers.
Mm-hmm. Tanner Houck, definitely a good young arm that the Red Sox can develop and try and make into a good player. 90, Adam Simber, actually a solid reliever for the Blue Jays. He went from the Marlins to the Blue Jays in 2022, and between him and Esteban Florial, I think he's the better player according to the stats, which Brendan will bring up.
Yep, he got in the 2021 season 2.26 ERA, played in 72 games with 3 wins and 4 losses. He played in 71.2 innings, struck out 51, and had a whip of 1.074.
Mm-hmm. Good stats from a reliever.
Yeah.
Maybe not a strikeout guy, but certainly gets the job done, and he got the results that the Blue Jays wanted from their bullpen. Next up, 92. There was no player that wore 91 in baseball in 2020. 2021. So we went with Genesis Cabrera, and Genesis, he was a good pitcher. Went 4-5. He had a 3.73 ERA, 71 starts. None of those games started. No saves, 70 innings, 77 strikeouts, and a 1.26 whip. So some solid stuff for Genesis Cabrera, left-handed pitcher, and at 25 years old, could be a good pitcher for the Cardinals' future.
Yeah, I feel like he can definitely. He's only 25. He's got some pretty good stats. His 3rd season. So I feel like he can get some better numbers. He could be a great, pitcher in that bullpen for them.
Mm-hmm. 93. Yeah, 93. Sorry, one option, Yimi Garcia, who went from, I forget who it was. I believe it was the Indians.
Yeah, it was
Indians to Astros. Tank.
Oh, yeah. I'm not. Marlins.
That's what I thought it was, Marlins. So anyway, he went from the Marlins to the Astros upon further review. Believe he's now in the Blue Jays, but he makes this because he's the only player wearing 93. Yep. So he went 4-9. Yeah, he's on the Blue Jays. He signed in free agency. 4-9, 4.21 ERA, 62 games, no games started, 15 saves, 60 strikeouts in 57 innings, and a 1.16 whip. Solid numbers from Yimi Garcia, and definitely a good, competent bullpen arm that can, provide some help in a weak Blue Jays bullpen.
Yeah, this guy has been in the league for quite a few years. Been in the league since 2014. So he's only a good amount of years, and he's put up some decent numbers. And the Blue Jays definitely need some help. They've lost a couple players during the offseason, so this guy can come out there, hopefully post up some numbers that he was doing in his early career. So yeah, this guy, a decent piece for the Blue Jays.
So now we move on to 94. Another one player only, Andre Jackson of the LA Dodgers. Actually, according to the stats, which Brendan will read, kind of a solid pitcher in a very small sample.
Yeah, in only 3 games, he had 2.31 ERA. He lost one of those games and won 0 of them. He played in 11 innings, 11.2 innings. He had 10 strikeouts and had a whip of 1.371. Those are decent stats.
Yep. For what he played in, decent stats, and with his age, and I think he's like 26 or 25. Maybe a guy that the Dodgers can project for the future. 95, another one player only. Trey Umberge of the Yankees. He had 4 at-bats and simply didn't do anything. He had no hits whatsoever in the Yankee pinstripes.
Struck out both 2 of those at-bats.
Literally can't say anything about this guy. It's just an outfielder that was wearing 95 and Like, this guy got extremely lucky by our standards. So
Yeah, only guy wearing 95. Really, just
Yep.
really nothing there to see. He's 27. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Now 96, 2 players to choose from. Tyler Payne, who only had 2 at bats and struck out twice with the Cubs, and Neftali Feliz, who is the player that we chose. 33 years old and was Rookie of the Year and a one-time All-Star at one point in his career.
2010.
But obviously that's gone. And he was 0-1 this year, 9 ERA, 5 games, none of them started. No saves, 4 innings, 3 strikeouts, and a 1.5 whip. Definitely seems like Neftali Feliz could just be a wash at this point. I mean, yeah, it's nothing much else to say.
Yeah, I think he had a decent career. You know, he won Rookie of the Year in 2010. He was an All-Star. Those are pretty good, accomplishments. But it doesn't look like he's going anywhere from here. His season has pretty much gone down. Nothing to say here. Let the guy had two at bats. So, one with this guy.
90. Okay, so now no numbers for 97, 98. But there is a number for 99, and it's the man himself, Aaron Judge. I know it'll probably pain Brendan to read off his stats, so I'll do it for him, even though it pains me myself. Aaron Judge in a full season, 550 at-bats, 158 hits, 39 homers, 287 average, 89 runs, 98 RBIs, and 6 stolen bases, 373 on base, 544 slugging, and 916 OPS. Aaron Judge is a beast and has truly established himself in New York, and he beats Brendan's Red Sox. So,
yeah, I hate to do it. I wanted Alex Verdugo, but I know Aaron Judge is the better player. Well, Alex Verdugo, very, very good, and so is Rio, but Aaron Judge, just like you said, a beast.
Yeah, I mean, and this pains me too as an Orioles fan. I hate the Yankees, not as much as Brendan, but I still hate them, and pains me to have Aaron Judge on here because we don't like ranking Yankees or anything because they're a disgrace to baseball. But that's pretty much our list. Let's clap it up because we finished rankings, and it feels so good to have that done.
Yep, feels great.
So that's pretty much it. Hopefully everyone had a happy New Year, and like we said at the beginning of the episode, for football fans, we'll have Beyond the End Zone. For tomorrow, you'll see some stuff for tomorrow. What else did we mention? We'll talk about all 30 teams in 30 episodes. Hopefully everyone's gonna have a better 2022. Any last things to say before we finish the episode?
The teams come next week, so stay tuned to see if your team gets picked to get talked about.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to that because I think it's gonna be more interesting than picking the best players from 81 to 100 or 99.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yep, it should be way more fun than this. So that's gonna be it. And we'll keep you updated if there are any more new things happening, which I can't imagine there are because baseball's still in lockout. So with that, we will see you next time.